when working in private wealth, it's a very noble profession. It's a very honourable role. What do I mean by this? In private wealth, we're looking after individuals' personal wealth or a family's personal wealth. And so what we're saying is that this individual or this family has entrusted upon us their family wealth, their personal wealth to look after and manage for the future and perhaps for future generations. And so the responsibility, when you think about it, is ever so great because we are affecting real people's lives here. They have a vision for their aspirational future. They have objectives. They have life goals, okay? And they've worked incredibly hard, whether through working for a company, running their own business, going through trials and tribulations, long hours, deadlines, all the stress to earn the money they earn, to build up the wealth that they have. And they're now entrusting us to manage it on their behalf. And so, in a way, depending how deep you go, we are entrusted to manage their legacy, to secure their financial future. And so that's an incredibly huge responsibility, and it's such an honourable task to be given this task to manage their personal wealth. And so it's a noble role. And so I think if anyone who enters into this profession must first and foremost understand that. Okay, if you don't understand that, don't join the private wealth industry. I started off, to be quite frank, I didn't plan to get into private wealth. I didn't even plan as such to get into financial services, really. I came out of my studies and I was attracted to this position. I just saw it in the paper, and I thought, okay, sounds quite interesting. I didn't really know what I was getting into, but then I really sort of learned to love the role. I built up a passion for it, because when you see people coming to you who really need your help to help them plan for their future, and I've advised hundreds of people during my time from all walks of life, and there are those that really need your help, and there are those that clearly are doing well for themselves but have not structured their finances at all well, and there are those who are doing very well but haven't been getting the right advice. And so it's really rewarding to really help these individuals and these families to really sort of structure and plan their finances in the right way. It makes a huge difference to their financial future, how you really sort of analyze their circumstances, break down what they have, understand what their needs are, their aspirations for their future, their objectives, and then helping them to sort of plan and strategize for the years ahead, So, and I would say, coming to Hong Kong about 8-9 years ago, it's a different market. I think the appetite here is definitely, there's more short-termism. People want to make a quick buck fast. There's way more interest in people trading the markets, and I see even more people getting it wrong because they take the short-term perspective. Now, what I try to teach people on, whether they are my clients or perhaps through our newsletter or maybe our YouTube channel, is helping them put the time to educate themselves, to improve themselves as investors. And that's what I do with my clients as well. First and foremost, they must build up a basic foundational understanding of how the markets work. Apart from that, it's really sort of understanding how they operate, what's important to them, their risk tolerance, their risk appetite, and what their objectives are for the future, what their values are, what are their life goals, and then really sort of building a structure, building a solution around their needs. And really, of course, also adapting to changing market circumstances, and also evolving with their own changing personal circumstances as well. Because sometimes life throws you a bit of a curveball. What you had planned before is no longer the plan, and you need to change your direction. We must be able to adapt to those change of directions as such. And so the role is incredibly dynamic. We have to think on our feet all the time, but we also have to have a steady mind. Whilst perhaps our clients may not always have the best investment temperament, we have to have a very good investment temperament. We must be able to be steadfast when the markets are very volatile. We also must be able to adapt and think quickly when certain things happen in the market. And so what we're ultimately providing to our clients is that peace of mind, that whilst they're out there getting on with their lives, be it personal matters or work-related matters, there's someone that they trust, there's an institution that they trust in the background working on behalf of their financial needs. And so, yeah, we're in a good spot at the moment. We are, I'm looking to build a very strong team, not a big team, but a very strong team. I have to be very selective about who I bring on board, because really these guys are the future partners of JS Wealth. They are the executive team. I want to hear their feedback, their experiences about perhaps the direction we take, or how we run JS Wealth. And it's very important to have a team with a diverse background from all different backgrounds and different experiences. Only then, when we come together and we communicate and we work together, does the team become stronger. And if the team becomes stronger, our proposition to clients becomes stronger as well. And obviously, one of the great things about being a boutique still, being relatively small, is that we have this operational agility to adapt to our clients' needs. So let's say if a lot of the clients suddenly demand a particular type of service, or change in the company, or change in the services, we can make that happen. Or at least we have the agility to make changes to the firm to make that happen. Because ultimately, the company exists purely just to serve clients. And so it's important to have that attitude, that mindset, which really comes from the top down, but it also comes from the bottom up as well, in that everything we do is client-centric. We exist purely to serve clients. And if we come into work each day with the attitude of trying to give the best possible service to our clients, the clients will appreciate that. And that's how we grow. Through, a lot of our growth comes from clients onboarding existing assets with us, perhaps taking assets away from other financial institutions and consolidating with us. And also a lot of the time it's from recommendations or referrals to colleagues or friends, or even family, because they've experienced the service themselves, they've enjoyed it, they feel looked after, and and they have this sense of peace of mind, I guess, and they feel confident or comfortable to recommend people that are close to them. Maybe they recently had a conversation with this individual or this other person, and they feel, hey, speak to my guy at JS Wealth. He deals with my money. I'm very happy. Have a chat with him. So that's how we're growing at the moment, and I want the right people on the bus, the people with that kind of attitude of let's serve our clients well, then the business will automatically grow. We don't need to worry about that. If we just do our job well, the business will automatically grow. Because, you know, in financial services in Hong Kong, in Singapore, you know, these are small places with small populations, with tight circles, as it were, and people talk. And if you do a good job, people will hear about it. You don't necessarily need any sort of marketing gimmicks or any advertisement as such. You just focus on doing a good job, and things will grow from there. So it's all about quality rather than quantity. Certainly at this stage, I want people that are experienced with already strong relationships with their client base, but probably more important than that, a real strong sense of ethics, integrity, and sort of putting clients first. And if they sort of have this mindset when it comes to performing their role, then they will do really, really well here. And of course, we can't do all of this ourselves. Behind JS Wealth, there's a fantastic platform called iFast. It's a Singaporean listed fintech platform. It's involved in Singapore, in Hong Kong, in Malaysia, in mainland China. It also has banking services in the UK as well. It's providing it built and is now providing the administrative services for the Hong Kong government's digital pension scheme, the eMPF pension scheme. And that's incredible. And so, you know, having such a great platform behind us makes our job much easier, and it also, again, gives our clients peace of mind. It's a company that delivers a service that is simple to understand, it's transparent, and convenient as well, because they really are quite advanced when it comes to the digital aspects of the services that they provide. Everything, or pretty much everything, can be done via the mobile app. And so a lot of these services now have all gone digital, and you can be anywhere in the world, pick up your phone as long as you have internet access, and see exactly what you have, how it's performing, what you hold, in what proportion, dive deeper into the data. Incredible. And so it's a real privilege to be working directly with this platform to deliver our services to our clients. I see a lot of improvement in the industry since I've come to Hong Kong. It's getting better. We have a long way to go. What I would like to see is even more transparency when it comes to fees. Even more transparency when it comes to sort of how services are delivered. I also want to have higher standards. So I think the barrier to entry into this industry should be higher. We should have far more higher entry requirements to join the industry. This is not a part-time job. This is a full-time job. You know, the markets do not sleep. Whilst we're sleeping, the markets are still running, and so, you know, it's not something that you can just do part-time. When you're a wealth advisor, a wealth manager, and you're serving your clients, managing their family finances, it's a full-time role. It's more than a full-time role, and you know, you have to be fully committed. You have to have that heart. It comes from here first and foremost. So, you know, having the people with the right work ethic, with the right attitude, that's very, very important. You know, like I said, these people that are now joining the team, these are the future partners of JS Wealth. These are the guys that are really going to be running the company in the future. And, you know, we have to work together as a team, and we have to work together to serve our clients in the best way possible. I've been in this industry for nearly 20 years now, and some of the clients I looked after back in London Yeah, some of them I would call good friends. When I go back to London, I still see a couple of them. Nothing to do with business, just purely as friends, you know. I won't go into any stories right now, but you know, you're working with these people and they trust you with their family wealth, and you get to know them very, very deeply, because the more you understand them as a person, their values, their goals, their, you know, how they operate as a person, the better you can advise them. You know, it's all about reading between the lines. It's the nuances in the information that we gather, you could say. You know, we can do a sort of KYC, as it were. You know, we all do a KYC, and that's great. You know, that's a starting point, but that's just the starting point. You know, getting to know the client beyond this kind of data gathering process is even more important, because you really get to understand them as an investor, but also as a person, and that way you can better manage the finances and also better manage the risk moving forwards. And so private wealth is not a job where it's not just a job, you know, it really is a sort of lifelong career. It's something you build, and you build a reputation for yourself, and you build pride in what work you do for your clients. And that's really where the reward comes from, is that pride. You go home every day, or perhaps, you know, maybe at the end of the year, let's say, when you're reflecting on the year that's just gone, you know, 2024, and you go, okay, that's been a really good year. I've done this for this client, I've done this for this client. All these things that have happened during this year. And it has to come from here. When your work comes from here, you finish the year with an immense sense of pride. And then, you know, decades down the line, you finish your career when you retire. Wow, what a wonderful feeling, knowing that every day you've come into work and you've given your utmost to serve your clients. That's a career to look back on and feel proud about. And so that's the attitude I want people to have when joining JS Wealth. These kind of people, where they come to work with that passion to serve clients. And if we can all have that attitude, then that's how we stand out from the rest. I don't want anyone else apart from the passionate people to join the company. And so I suppose one final word out there for people who are interested in private wealth. It doesn't matter about your background, it doesn't matter about how much experience you've got. I will try to open up the doors to as many people as possible. Most important thing you've got to bring to the table is that passion. If you want to work in private wealth, if you like serving people, if you like problem solving, if you like educating, you know, providing a service to people, then this is the role for you. You know, it's a lifelong career. It's a career, if you put your heart into, you're going to feel immensely proud. And with the sort of support that we give here at JS Wealth, along with the professionalism of iFast behind us, then I think it's a very good place to be. And so, you know, doors are open. Let's have a discussion. Let's see if a career in private wealth is for you.